And Michigan International Speedway is the next step closer to the championship. It's time to take a look at the starting grid for today's race.
In row 6, we have two drivers that need a win to transfer into the chase. Kasey Kahne, Kyle Larson.
Mike, no doubt the pressure building for all these teams outside of the chase, including Kyle Larson, who told us a moment ago that he feels like this is his best chance to win one of the final 3 regular season races in 2016. When I talked to his crew chief, Chad Johnson, earlier today, he told me, you know what we have to do is we have to learn how to complete these races. Kyle clearly has the speed to do it, but the last quarter of the race, that's where we need to get better. Can they do it today, Rick?
Thanks, Marty. Let's look at the particulars of this race. A 200-lap, 400-mile race. The pit road speed will be 55 miles per hour. And, of course, there have been loops added on this pit road, so speeding could once again catch someone. The fuel window, 46 to 49 laps. And today, because of rain yesterday, there will be a competition caution at lap 20. 3 races to go before the chase. They're 2x2. Green flags in the air in Michigan. Jimmy Johnson spun his tires a bit on that start, bottled up the inside line. We'll see if they can get the momentum back.
Dillon with an aggressive move on the outside to make it 3 wide. How it affects his car, and can Kevin Harvick take advantage of caution out right now?
That caution saves Chris Buescher because he was just in front of the race leader, Joey Logano.
Competition caution comes out. So now the drivers on the lead lap will be able to come on to pit road first. Kevin Harvick on the inside for this restart. Chase Elliott changes lanes just after he gets past the start-finish line. Side by side for the lead. Kevin Harvick takes it away from Joey Logano on the bottom of the racetrack.
With a lot of confidence, Jeff. He drove it into the bottom of turns 1 and 2, almost assured that that thing was going to stick.
He did a great job on the start. On the initial start, he was able to keep up with Joey Logano. Then when he got to him, he got right to him, took the air off of Joey, and turned left and made his car stick.
Harvick, Logano, Johnson, 1, 2, and 3.
And there's a crash wreck off turn 4. The 18 car's gone around.
18 of Kyle Busch around, and now into the grass.
All right, get it rolling when you can. Rolling when you can. Go ahead.
Green flag back in the air. Joey Logano on the inside. Harvick on the outside. Denny Hamlin with a good run on the high side, trying to take second away from Logano. Riding along with Carl Edwards. Hear the engine going over 9,000 RPMs as he enters turn 3. He's got Kyle Larson now on his back bumper, and Larson running right along the white line and made up some good ground there on Carl Edwards.
Well, Kyle Larson's making up ground in every line he's running, either on the white line or that middle or higher lane in 3 and 4. You see passes the 19, getting a big run on the 88 of Alex Bowman. He's going to easily clear him into turn 1. Not sure, the 88 seems to be a little off the pace right here.
And Steve, the 42 once again with a ton of speed. They restarted 21st because of a mistake coming to pit road. They had planned to take 2 tires on that competition caution, but when he came to pit road, he slid the tires, so they were forced to take 4 tires. Kyle's been happy with the chassis, though, and you see the progress since the restart. He's gained 10th position, but a little surprising, he's been doing a lot of it on the bottom of the racetrack. Rick, we talked about quickly Ryan Blaney picked up on the tire. You see the right front that came off of Ryan Blaney's car. Goodyear officials are telling us that's because of high heat. I can also tell you Kyle Larson had a right front that looked pretty much exactly like this. You can see NASCAR officials, Goodyear officials, and team members looking at this right front tire that came off Ryan Blaney's car. Again, he caught it at a great time going into turn 3. Very smart to pick up on that, and it did hold air the entire time, so it never went flat. It did hold air the entire time getting into pit road.
Well, we talked at the top of the show how it's 3 races till the chase, and the chase standings were important. Well, these drivers have lifted. You have Kyle Larson running in 4th, Kasey Kahne running in 5th. Those 2 cars have gained points, 26 and 27 points, but I'm not sure points are going to be enough, Rick. Right. I think those 2 cars have to be thinking about a win. A win would basically make the race for that bubble line even tighter between those guys on points.
Yes, it would. And somebody you didn't even see in on that because he's far enough back. Blaney, who's running in 6 right now with a lot of speed as well. So, Blaney or Larson wins, it creates quite a bit of chaos in the chase standings.
Well, the other chaos is if Chris Buescher can't maintain the top 30 in points. We've documented he has an issue. He's 39th, 4 laps down. So
that brings another car back in.
Oh man, it's going to be an exciting day.
Run. Kyle Larson, though, has made his progress up through the field very nicely. Remember, he finished 3rd here in June. I was talking to the team this morning. They said, we feel like we've made our cars better since then. So today, we expect more than 3rd. Looking underneath Harvick for that next spot. Rick, we had mentioned that Kyle Larson had a right front tire coming apart on the first run. Well, this is the right front that came off here on the second run, and it just started to come apart. You can see that inside shoulder of that right front tire for Kyle Larson. Chad Johnson just radioed to him and told him this one was coming apart too, but it wasn't as bad as the first one. So, Jeff, now you've had 2 right front tires on your car. Are you a little bit worried as a driver?
Well, I'm definitely worried. And Marty, a lot of times as races go on, these problems go away. As more rubber gets put in the racetrack, you tend to have less problems. But now that you've had 2 in a row, you have to assume it's not going to get better. Track condition.
Take a look at how these drivers who need a win, sense of urgency building now. Chase Elliott currently running 1st, Kyle Larson 2nd, Ryan Blaney 3rd, Casey Kane running 8th. All those drivers needing a win. 3 of the 4 looking for their first win ever in the Sprint Cup Series.
Chase is pretty good on points, but the other 3, they really do. They have to have a win if they're going to move forward.
Into the restart zone, and green flag back in the air. Kyle Larson clears the 24 before they get to turn 1. A little bit of a loose condition there for Kyle Larson as he exits turn 2 and down the backstretch. Chase Elliott now trying to reel him back in as he was able to get by Kevin Harvick. Harvick back to 3rd. Ryan Blaney holding on to 4th. Side by side for 5th, though, between Denny Hamlin and Brad Keselowski.
And remember, Keselowski has newer tires than the rest. He stayed out. He has, I don't know, roughly 9 more or less laps on his tire.
Things are ramping up now for Kyle Larson as a lot of people looking at the radar, and for good reason. You see what is coming from the west, and it is moving directly at that dot in the middle of the screen. Michigan International Speedway. A race leader, Kyle Larson, has a 0.7 of a second lead over Chase Elliott as you're watching the Pure Michigan 400. Rain potentially an issue, and Kyle Larson knows that feeling all too well. Back in June of 2015, Kyle Larson out in front, trying to stay in front before they had to come to pit road, thinking the rain might come. Sure enough, they had to come to pit road for fuel, and 3 laps later, the caution comes out because of rain. They end up not winning at Michigan.
It's a gamble they had to take on that day, but on that day they didn't have the fastest car, and they gambled some to get track position and tried to make something work. But now, as he's gotten the lead, he has the fastest car. So how does their strategy change with having the fastest car? And this is the part of the race we've seen this team have issues, where they've been in position to win a race. Now 59 laps to go. This is when the trouble spots have become. So with the fastest car on the racetrack right now, can they make the changes they need to on the car? Can they have the right pit stop? Can Kyle Larson finish this thing off? It would be huge if they can, because it would move them into the chase. But the pressure is going to only start to build. Rain in the area, the race is winding down, pressure is going to get tighter and tighter.
Been a little over 30 laps since they were last onto pit road. Let's go through the field. We'll start with Marty Snyder.
And Rick, pit stop's coming up in about 20 laps, and the rain coming as well. The pressure certainly building here on pit road. One thing Kyle Larson told his crew chief, he said, listen, if you can get me out front, I think we can lead this thing. He got him out front. He's leading right now. And Jeff, you mentioned it. Can they put it all together? That's what they've been worried about. Can they put all the pieces together in the last quarter of this race, Dave?
Take a look at today's lap leaders, brought to you by Goodyear. Jimmy Johnson has led the most laps. Kevin Harvick second with 33. Kyle Larson continuing to lead laps at Michigan, and definitely could surpass Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick. But green flag pit stops are closing in as we're getting ready for potentially the final stops. All eyes will be on the 42 now as Kyle Larson, race leader, has made his way onto pit road for his stop. Marty.
Rick staring squarely at potentially his first career win. Kyle Larson hits with the lead coming down pit road. Now can the pit crew do their job on the money stop of the afternoon? He slides to a stop. He told his crew, I'm very good by myself. It's a little edgy when I'm in traffic though. 4 tires, no changes, Dave.
Chase Elliott said the 24 car starts off nice, but as I catch him, being the 42, it gets a little bit snug. You got to bail me out here. Air pressure adjustment, and it looks like he may exit pit road ahead of Kyle Larson.
Race for the lead took place on pit road. Chase Elliott in front of Kyle Larson as they exited. Here comes.
You know, when all this cycles back around, we now have a 4-way battle for the lead. We saw Larson and his team, they were slow on pit road, came in with the lead, and now because the 4 and the 2 did on their strategy and have the kind of pit stops they had, now Larson is back in 4th place. So we talked about executing, and could you seal the deal with perhaps the fastest car? Not a great stop on pit road. They went all the way from 1st to 4th to see if they can gain an advantage.
And it says 6th and 7th, but realistically, this is for the 2nd position as this race cycles out. Kyle Larson lost the lead on this cycle of green flag pit stops, trying to get back in front of the 2 of Brad Keselowski, who's on 2 tires, to see if he can run down Chase Elliott.
And we've seen Paul Wolfe and the 2 of Brad Keselowski use strategy to get them in position to where they are right now, potentially fighting for 2nd. Back to the 42, who's running 2nd, 2.7 seconds back, 29 laps to go. Does Kyle Larson have enough time to catch up to the 24?
And it all happened on the pit stop. This is side by side. The green flag pit stop on the left. Kyle Larson, you see slow on the right front tire. The 24, a very efficient right side. They both go to the lefts. It seems like both left sides were smooth, but the damage was done on the right front of the 42. Had a small lead on the 24 and lost it right here, leaving pit road. And then, as you mentioned, Jeff, you put the 4 and Brad Keselowski on 2 tires between them. That small gap turned into 2.8 seconds that Kyle Larson is trying to run down race leader Chase Elliott.
Dave, we saw the replay of the pit stop for Kyle Larson and his team, and what's been happening all day long, that right front tire, when they go to pull it off, it's been sticking on that 42 car all day long. So they asked Kyle to turn the wheel a little bit more to the left, and just for a second, the front tire changer went back to hit the lug nuts a second time because he thought they couldn't get the tire out because he had missed a lug nut, but he in fact had gotten all 5 lug nuts off of the car. It was just that the tire was stuck in the wheel well. That split second cost Kyle Larson the lead, but now he's gotten his way up to 2nd. He's a little faster than the 24. Can he catch him in these final 20 laps?
21 laps to go.
This race is going to boil down to this right here, lap traffic. Can the 24 get through traffic as quick as he needs to, and can Kyle Larson get through that traffic? So these guys, especially, you're watching right here, you see the gap is closed. We've heard all day long how it's difficult to be in traffic with this package. So can they clear this traffic, and who can clear it the best?
Chase Elliott right now the advantage, out in front of Kyle Larson, but Kyle Larson has closed the gap. It used to be 2.8 seconds, now down to 1.2. Take a look at this with Landon Castle.
Yeah, while this was going on, Landon Castle had an issue on the backstretch. NASCAR's looking to see if he put down any fluid between that and the potential of rain that's only about 5 or 8 miles out. Both the 42 and the 24 pushing as hard as they can push for these last 20 laps. This is definitely going to hurt the 42. The 6 of Trevor Bayne took the bottom lane. This is what the 24 is looking for. He had to go through the traffic. How much time is it going to take for the 42 to get through that traffic?
High line for Kyle Larson, and he's got him 2 wide in front of him once again as he enters turn 1. He'll go through the middle and have to go all the way up the racetrack. The 83 of Matt DiBenedetto pushed him up.
He was trying to split the middle. When he did, he got close to the 83 and pulled the air off the 83 spoiler and up the racetrack. Matt had to chase it. So it's kind of a bad break right there.
He had all the way down to 1.3 seconds, Rick. Until that happened in 1 and 2, you see how much it stretched out this time by. I bet it's upwards of 2 seconds the lead for Chase Elliott over Kyle Larson.
Probably more as they cross the start-finish line. Now it's 2.7 seconds, the gap between Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson.
We talked about traffic, and you know, this is just a tough spot. You see DiBenedetto, he gets really loose, leaving turn 4. See right here how loose he got? Well, then that opens the door. Now his momentum is lost. So Kyle Larson sees the hole, goes right for the middle, which is the right thing to do. But again, the 83 is already loose, but as the 42 gets close to the 83, it makes him even that much looser. He gets way up the racetrack. Kyle Larson did nothing wrong there. He had to try, with only 18 laps left, he had to try to make something happen quickly, but in doing so, he pulled the air off the 83 car.
Chase Elliott, the 20-year-old out of Dawsonville, Georgia. His father has won at this racetrack 7 times before. Can Chase Elliott finish it out and get his first ever win in the Sprint Cup Series as we go NASCAR nonstop? "13 laps to go, and Michael Annett has a tire go down, bringing out the caution for the 4th time, meaning a restart will have to take place. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson running 1 and 2. The gap between the two had grown to 2.3 seconds after Kyle Larson had trouble negotiating lap traffic. There's the tire going down for Michael Annett. And when that happened, the caution comes out. Now the field will line up 2 by 2 behind Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson.
Hey, let's not forget somebody else that's looking for his first win. Starting in row 2 on the outside lane is Blaney. So don't forget about him. He's a guy that's going to be aggressive trying to get this win as well. So we have 3 of the top 4 have never won, and then back there in 6th we see 2 tires. So
they'll close with Kevin Harvick on 2 tires. Should be interesting through turns 1 and 2.
It'll be 9 laps to go. Chase Elliott on the outside, Kyle Larson on the inside. Ryan Blaney on the outside of row 2. Brad Keselowski on the inside of row 2. 3 of the top 4 have never won in the Sprint Cup Series. That could all change. Green flag back in the air. A tough restart for both of them.
I think they both spun their tires to begin with, and then Blaney got into the back of the 24 and got him almost wrecked.
Kyle Larson out in front. Brad Keselowski running 2nd. Chase Elliott has fallen to 3rd.
9 to go in clean air. Kyle Larson just needs to hope for a caution run. 9 clean laps.
He doesn't want a caution.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He wants
there is not a
caution. Kyle Larson out in front. He's got a good gap over 2nd place, Brad Keselowski. Chase Elliott running 3rd.
And you saw both cars on the front row spun their tires. That's because they have older tires. It's so much more difficult to get a restart when you have old tires on. They do not make as much grip. So both cars had trouble. 42 of Larson came out on top though.
He will be the 13th different winner. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. One more time around, as you mentioned. What a shakeup it will be in the Chase standings. If Kyle Larson can get a win and fight for the championship at season's end. The gap staying the same, about 1.5 seconds. Down the backstretch for the final time, Kyle Larson. From the age of 5, Kyle Larson has only wanted to be a race car driver. And now, as he comes to the checkered flag, Kyle Larson's going to win in the Sprint Cup Series.
Good job, boys. Good job, buddy. I'm proud of you, man. It's been a long... You did it, baby. First one in Michigan, buddy. That a boy. Proud of all you guys on the team.
And once again, we've had a weekend sweep. And when I say that, every winner this weekend in each series of NASCAR got their first win. Brett Moffitt in the Truck Series, Michael McDowell in the Xfinity Series, and now Kyle Larson in the Sprint Cup Series gets his first win, the 2014.
Welcome to the Chase, Bob.
Can't believe it.
You hear some of those voices on the radio. One of them is Chad Johnson. Think of how great this is for that crew chief first year with Kyle Larson.
And he's going to do his burnouts right in victory lane.
Imagine how much fun that is. Winning your first race. You win your first race and puts you and your team in the chase.
steering wheel in his hand. Actually just dropped his steering wheel. He was doing burnouts with his steering wheel out the window. Listen to the roar of the crowd. The 24-year-old out of Elk Grove, California.
That's a good jump.
Look at the elation